and welcome. My name is Millen, and in this video I'm going to show you how to very quickly calculate the month-to-date and year-to-date totals in Power BI. So without further ado, let's get to it. So here we are in Power BI, and the only columns that we need for this example are the columns in the fact internet sales table and our date table. So we currently have a relationship going from our date table to order date in the fact internet sales table. The other column that we will need to make our calculations is sales amount. So we can use a date to calculate the sales amount for the year to date and month to date. The first thing that we need to do is create a new measure that calculates the total sales. So in our measure table, we can create a new measure and let's call this total sales. And total sales is very simply the sum of our sales amount. So sum sales amount in our fact internet sales table, and there we are, total sales. So first you want to create a new measure, and the reason I create a new measure is because we're going to reference the total sales measure more than once. So let's call this new measure total sales month to date. And for this, we can simply use the expression total month to date. And we want our total sales to be our expression. And the dates is going to be the dates from our date table. So date table with the date column, and there we are, done, our total month to date. Now we can check that this works. Let's create a new card and let's bring in total sales just to see what the total sales are. Now what we haven't done yet is format this, so we can format it as a currency. And that's our total sales across our data. The next thing we want to have a look at is our total sales for the month to date. So we can bring in a second card with total sales month to date. We can format that too as currency. And you can already see that there is a very big difference in numbers. The next thing we want to do is calculate the total sales for the year to date. And as you may have already guessed, it's going to be very similar to the total sales month to date. So what we want is to bring in a new measure in our measure table. And let's call this total sales year to date. The expression that we want to use for this is total year to date. And the expression is once again going to use our total sales measure. And the dates is again going to be our date column from the date table. And there we are, our total sales for year to date already done. And we can check this too. If we go to create a new card, and let's bring in our total sales year to date, we can once again format this as well, but you can already see the number is now 15.09 million. So we have our total sales for the data at the top, our total sales for the current month, and our total sales for the year to date. So there you are, a very, very simple method in Power BI to calculate the total sales for the month and year to dates.